This video is sponsored by PokemonStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Whether you're looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to get the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything. You can use the coupon code ZAPDOSTCG to get 5% off your next order. Also, this video is sponsored by Cardmarket.com. Cardmarket is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can use the referral name ZAPDOSTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by YourPlaymat.com. This is a website to create your own custom playmat from scratch. You can upload your own unique design or your favorite wallpaper and then turn it into a beautiful playmat. There's a link down below to get 10% off your next order. Last but certainly not least is DragonShield.com. There are links down below for people from the US and people from Europe where you're going to be able to buy sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. And of course, Dragon Shield is the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. I recommend them for every tournament, so definitely check out the links, and it's going to help out support the channel so much. So thanks for sticking around with the commercials, and let's get this video started already. Peace! What's up YouTube, it's ZAPDOSTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG videos, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about the top 5 best decks with Silver Tempest legal. So these are going to be ideal picks if you're going to the LAIC, Latin American International Championships, and these are my personal top 5s in the correct order. So on the number 5th spot, we're going to go straight into this video. If you guys enjoy what I'm posting, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and I will be very appreciative if you would do so. It helps out the channel tremendously. So number 5 is Regis. That's right, Regis is personally my favorite deck in this new era of the TCG, and for good reason. Is the best single prize deck in my opinion. If you are basically just thinking about one prizer, specifically Lost Box does have 2 prizers in the deck, so I'm not calculating it as like based on a pure single prize deck, but Regis is super great because you have all different Regis to attack with. And the cool thing is you also hit Lugia VSTAR, the most powerful archetype of the bunch, for weakness. What do you have? You have the Terra Spark. With a choice bell, you can actually one-hit KO a Lugia instantly if they don't have Dunsparce. If they have Dunsparce, you can go for the other Regigigas to snipe it with the targeted bolt attack, so you can get rid of that Dunsparce and then hit for weakness again. What else do we have is Regigigas being able to one-hit KO Mew VMAX, Kieran VMAX, etc. If you see VMAX Pokemon, your Regigigas is going to slap them in the face. Regidraco is also not too bad, because now with the addition of Serena in the list, you're going to be able to gust up support Pokemon and KO them in combination with a Choice Belt. So Regidraco with Choice Belt, you're going to be slapping 190. That's enough for Crobat V, stuff like Luminion V, as well as Genesect V. So that's very good. You have now additional gusting in the form of Serena, which is awesome. The list is also playing Escape Ropes because I'm a big fan of Escape Ropes, allowing you to of course target Pokemon on the bench. The opponent needs to select a Pokemon and then they give it to the active position, so we can slap it for damage. We have a Regirock, which is able to slap some Arceus here and there. Registeel, funny enough, can slap Pokemon with free retreat, for instance Mew VMAX, which is hilarious. And then Regigigas can buy yourself turns with the Blizzard Bind, slapping damage, and then during their next turn, the V Pokemon cannot attack. Research, already powerful in this deck on a combination with, of course, Tracking Shoes. You're going to be swooping through the deck. You just want to have your energies in the discard pile so you can accelerate them with the Ancient Wisdom ability of the Regigigas. And now with the addition of Serena, you can get those energies in the discard pile, but in the late game, you're also going to be able to use Serena for gusting capability. So a very strong deck is utilizing the Path to the Peak. You can also think about adding in some more stadium cards, because you do have to be afraid of the Collapse Stadium. Is going to be used in all the Lugia decks, and maybe even Lost City as well, but you do have Pats. Pats is strong, shuts down Lugia VSTAR entirely if you can get it turn 1, so maybe even bump it up to 4 copies of Pat, maybe cut 1 Ultra Ball. But this is a nice list to start your journey if you are a big fan of the Regis. The good news is that you also have the Gift Energy to fall back on if they KO you, and the Gift Energy is attached. You're going to be able to draw cards until you have 7, so that's why supporter count is perfect as it is. For Research to Marnie, to Serena, and I really like this list, to be honest. It's a strong list to start your adventure. If you're afraid of Mew VMAX, you might bump the Regigigas all the way up to a 3rd copy, but yeah, Regi's coming here on the number 5th spot. Number 4 is going to be Lost Zone Box, and why do I not calculate this as a 1 prize archetype? Well, there's a Raikou V in there, it's simple as that. So this archetype revolves around the Lost Zone engine, using Colress's experiment, using the flower selecting of the comfort comfies to get as many cards in the Lost Zone as possible. If you get 4 cards in the Lost Zone, you can slap for free with the Cramorant for 110 damage. If you can get all the way up to 10, you're going to be able to use the Lost Mine attack of the Sableye, placing 12 damage counters wherever you feel like. So on the opponent's side of the field, super nice. You have Snorlax as a formidable attacker with the Thumping Snore, and then there's Raikou, which can surprisingly come out of nowhere to KO Lugia VSTAR when they least expect it. Now the new addition to the Lost Zone box is going to be that Kyogre. Kyogre with the Aqua Storm is going to be annihilating opponents because you can discard up to 5 cards from the deck, and for every card you discard, you slap 50 damage to 2 of the opponent's bench Pokemon. So in theory, what you want to be doing, this list is highly revolved around Energy Recycler. You're using Mirage Gate onto Kyogre, get it ready to go and attack. Make your deck as empty as possible by utilizing Colress's, etc. If your deck is completely empty, use Energy Recycler, get those energies in the deck again, and then utilize it to take 4 prize cards. That's what Kyogre is good for, so super nice. The deck is running Bird Keeper, Scoop Up Net, Switch Card, Escape Rope, so you're going to be circling around all your little comfies until you have a very low deck size, and then you're going to be slapping for huge damage. Really love this deck and the way that it came out of the woodworks. Also love the fact of Echoing Horn. Synergizes super well with Sableye as well as the Kyogre, and yeah, with of course this deck is not running like any boss's orders. Instead, it relies on the Kyogre to take your last prize card. So very cool to see. Number 3 is going for Lost Zone Tina. Not a lot has changed since the Lost Origin days for Lost Zone Tina. If you've been playing with Lost Zone Tina, you don't have to change all that much. We're still playing Drapion V because we're respecting Mew VMAX and its addition that I got with the Forest Seal Stone, and also we are running an additional copy of Temple of Sinnoh. Temple of Sinnoh is super strong against Lugia VSTAR, and we are totally respecting that. Other than that, we also added in a second copy of the Roxanne, allowing you to of course disrupt opponents. Very good against opposing Lost Zone decks, but also very great against stuff like Lugia. Roxanne Temple also works out against the Regis in favor, so it's a very strong combo, and with 2 True Split, you can get it off more oftenly when the time is right. A very consistent list using Colress's Experiment as well as the Flower Selecting. You can fall back on the Cramorant, you can attack with Sableye. You can also use the Moonlight Shuriken of the Radiant Greninja with of course the Mirage Gate, allowing you to slap 2 Pokemon for 90 damage, which is definitely going to be kind of amazing if you can, if your opponent is not slapping down Manaphy. So very strong list, not a lot has changed, and it's coming here on the number 3 spot. Number 2 is Mew VMAX. Mew VMAX is back with the fusion shenanigans. Ever since the day of Fusion Strike, Mew VMAX has been a tier 1 archetype, and that hasn't changed at all. Even though Drapion's in the scene right now, it is actually irrelevant because Mew VMAX is now running Path of the Peak themselves. We have the Forest Seal Stone, which is a tool card which you can slap onto your Genesect, and then you can flip over your V-Star token even underneath Path to the Peak. So even Path is down, you can use the Forest Seal Stone and get any card you want from the deck. Mew VMAX was lacking a V-Star ability, and now it has one. It also makes sure that you can find Battle VIP Pass turn 1. It allows you to get the crazy Donk off with the Alessa Sparkle combinations and the Meloetta off more oftenly. It's a very consistent list, and I'll be very afraid. The Crystal Cave respecting a little bit of the Sableye shenanigans on top of 2 switch cards. Because yeah, Sableye seems to be in a lot of top decks as we've seen, the Lost Zone box deck as well as the Tina deck, and I do love the fact that even though you're playing the Fusion Mew, you still have the defensive mechanism of Roxanne Pad, which is strong. You can get your Roxanne back with Palpate as well. So this list actually, now that I think about it, is not running any gusting capabilities, which I found a little bit tricky here and there, but you do plan on utilizing the Meloetta here. So this is a list base that is doing very well on Play.Limitless TCG. Personally, I probably would cut down the Switch card, I'd cut down the Crystal Cave, and I would add in 2 copies of Boss's Orders. You can add in Boss's Orders or maybe a Boss's Orders and a Serena. It all is up to you, but Mew VMAX, this list is very strong because if it goes second, it swoops for a crazy amount of damage. If the opponent is not having a huge bench space, let's say you have like Dunsparce in the active and Lugia on the bench, you can still dunk that Lugia by utilizing Escape Rope. People also could grab to a Pokemon Catcher, so this is a little bit the best out of both worlds. Either you have the Quad DTE Mew with like the Avery and all the Roxanne and the Pad and all that, but this list is doing a little bit of both. We have Roxanne, we have Marnie Pad, so those cards are very great. Definitely against Lost Zone box decks, you can just Marnie Pad them. You also have the V-Guard Energy, making your Mew VMAX a little bit more tanky, not respecting Oricorio at all, but utilizing the V-Guard Energy as the additional attachment because you can go Alessa Sparkle, and then attach the V-Guard energy onto your Mew. So I found this list to be working out very well, so that's why we've represented it here. But it is of course lacking a little bit. Oh yeah, what am I saying? The boss's orders are actually in here. I was saying like, oh, did I oversee that? But yeah, boss's orders is in here. You could actually switch that boss's orders for a Serena if you want to, but I think boss is just fine. And the cards that I mentioned, like the Crystal Cave and the Switch card, you can add those up with like Pokemon Catcher, because I've seen that Mew VMAX does the job very well by gusting up the 2 prize Pokemon instantly going second. So yeah, Mew VMAX for you, it is strong. And yeah, my apologies for not seeing that boss earlier. I was like, oh, where's the boss? But I was always like picturing Lysander in my head. Next, but finally not least, actually next, but definitely not least, is going to be the first place, Lugia VSTAR. Lugia VSTAR is the best deck in the format, and for good reason. It has so many capabilities. You have the Stoutland to respect and knock out some Comfies for additional prize cards. You have the Raikou for the mirror match. You have the Yveltal, which can snap Duraludons when they don't run Big Parasol. You have Radiant Charizard, which is busted already, and you can just get any 2 special energies for every Archeops you have in play. And with the Summoning Star, you can summon 2 Archeops instantly onto your bench to utilize the Primal Turbo ability, and you can use it every single turn. This list is not running Dunsparce, so I'm expecting Reggie to drop off a tiny little bit, because it hasn't been performing all that well in online tournaments. But if you're respecting Reggie, add in the Dunsparce, be my guest. Maybe cut one of the cards that you see in this list. But this list is actually pretty good. You do have access to a lot of your ball engines, like 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Evolution Essence, 4 Archeops. You want to do the exact same thing every single time. So and with, of course, Raikou, you could be getting multiple prize cards as well against Comfies. So this list is very solid. The only thing that it's not doing is respecting the Reggie. So it's not running Collapse or anything. It just wants to go max consistency. You do have that third copy of the Choice Belt, and all the different Aurora base attackers will allow you to win games. So very strong. Always turn 2, you're seeing that Summoning Star. Maybe if you're afraid of Path to the Peak, you might actually add in some more stadiums here. Now we have Lost Vacuum and Pumpkaboo, but with 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, you definitely find your Pumpkaboo. Let's hope it's not prized, but you only need to activate your V-Star ability once, and then you're off to the races, because if you summon those Archeops, you can turn 2 attack with Yveltal, turn 2 attack with Radiant Charizard, and with a triple copy of Choice Belt, that is going to be very, very scary, because V-Guard energy only protects from damage from V-Pokemon. So yeah, Charizard can slap Lugias, Raikou can slap Lugias. There's so many things to love about this list, and I'm a huge fan. So yeah, these are my top 5 decks in the current format. If you're going to LAIC, take one of these decks and yeah, win the tournament. And yeah, you can choose one of these decks and just perfectionize them. You don't have a lot of time, but these are the things you should expect when you're going to regional or internationals in your area. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little run through of the 5 best decks of the format. If you did, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways. Go check out our sponsors, PokemonStore.com, the best place for TCGO code cards. You can use the coupon code ZapDogsTCG for 5% off. There's cardmarket.com for European players. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZapDogsTCG. There's Dragon Shield for people from the US and Europe. Links down below to buy sleeves, deck boxes, and binders. And last but not least is yourplaymat.com to, of course, yeah, create your own custom playmat from scratch. They ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. Play around with these decks in the Silver Tempest format, because they are totally broken. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. I'm out. Peace.